Clement L. Buenger was born in 1926 and grew up in Fort Thomas, Kentucky. He graduated from Xavier High School and joined the Navy, where he served as a radio man in the Pacific from 1944 to 1946. After World War II, Mr. Buenger returned to Cincinnati to attend Xavier University, from which he graduated in 1950 with a bachelor's degree in business administration. His father died soon afterward, and as the oldest of 4 children, Mr. Buenger took over several modest family businesses, including a foundry and a toy manufacturing operation. He found he had other interests, though, and he left the family businesses to join the insurance industry. By the late 60s, he was working for a Kroger-owned insurance company in Louisville, making $75,000 a year. He and his wife Ann decided it was time to move back home. Someone suggested he talk with Bill Rowe, then president of Fifth Third. Buenger came away with an offer of a $50,000 a year pay cut and a new job as a $25,000 a year commercial lending officer for Fifth Third Bank. Buenger brought a new sales-oriented aggressiveness to the conservative Cincinnati banking community. That and long hours. Under Buenger, bankers' hours of 9 to 3 were no longer acceptable. Shortly after Buenger's arrival in Cincinnati, he saw an opportunity to put his sales experience to work, orchestrating the bank's first blitz, a term that has since become a part of the Fifth Third corporate lexicon. The blitz is the process where a large group of Fifth Third managers make sales calls on every corporate customer in a specific area. As a result of this technique, Fifth Third has gotten a big share of these markets. 6 years after arriving at Fifth Third, Buenger was promoted to Executive Vice President of Commercial Lending. In 1979, he became President of Fifth Third Bank, and the next year was also named President and CEO of the parent company, Fifth Third Bank Corp. Buenger was a standout from his earliest days at Fifth Third because he did something simple but different. He got out from behind his desk and called on clients. When analysts talk about the value of Fifth Third stock, they often cite the company's work ethic as the foundation of its strength. At the same time, Buenger instituted a system of sales incentives and rewards for those people who were willing to go above and beyond the norm in their sales efforts. An example is the monthly Shoe Leather Award, a pair of expensive new shoes to the employee who makes the most sales calls. Clem's accomplishments during his leadership at Fifth Third are legendary. Through his aggressive sales effort, he continued to build on the foundation established by his predecessor, Bill Rowe. Fifth Third continued to be the highly profitable, cost-efficient premier banking company that is nationally recognized today. In the 80s, when many banks were faltering or folding in the face of stiff competition from unregulated industries, Fifth Third experienced record growth. During his years at Fifth Third, Mr. Buenger helped build the corporation into Cincinnati's largest banking company, with more than 260 locations in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. When Buenger came to the Fifth Third, the company's assets were $569 million. When he retired in 1991, the company had some $8.8 billion in assets. In 1993, Mr. Buenger became a household name in Cincinnati with the release of the Buenger Commission report on the Cincinnati Public Schools. Headed by Clem Buenger, the commission spent many hours reviewing the operations of the Cincinnati public school system, and then prepared a report suggesting the needed changes in the hopes of building a better educational program for the city.
Well, I think you have to help people. I mean, in many, many ways. You know, it's easy to walk away from something and say, I don't want to do this anymore, but once you tie on, you have to finish it. And a lot of people don't like to do that. And I don't know why. I mean, it's part of the regimen of being a human being, I think.
Buenger retired as Fifth Third CEO in 1991 and continues to serve on the bank's board of directors. He also serves on the board of other prominent organizations, and his past directorships also read as a who's who list. Mr. Buenger has received numerous honors for community service, including the Greater Cincinnati United Way's Neil McElroy Award, its highest honor, Northern Kentucky University's Lincoln Award, Financial World Magazine's CEO of the Year Award, and recognitions from the Boy Scouts, Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, and the American Jewish Committee. In addition, Mr. Buenger has been recognized as a great living Cincinnatian. Buenger was a founding member of the Fund for Independent Schools of Cincinnati, a $2 million endowment that each year awards $3,000 high school scholarships to 60 minority students. And in 1992, he donated $1 million to Xavier University, his alma mater. In 1991, Mr. Buenger was chairman of the Greater Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce and the Fine Arts Fund campaign, and he was the United Way chairman in 1981. Buenger and his wife Ann live in Mount Lookout. Clem Buenger is a man known for his genuineness and open, caring nature. He is never false about anything and carries his moral standards, concern for youth, and respect of the dignity of each person into all his activities.
You know, there's an awful lot going on where people today, instead of sitting down and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you about something, they want to cut your head off. And why do that? And I think I'm very tolerant of human beings because I am one. You are one. But I've always felt an obligation to pay back what I've gotten. And I think I've done that. I don't know that I'm really pure, but and I try to do it without harming people. You don't have to beat up on people, particularly young people. We were all, you, me, or anybody else, was in awe when somebody said we're going to do something or other, and you never had any idea what it was. You kind of tremble. And Bill Rowe always took that out. Make a lot of mistakes. He said, I like you more. He said, I've made some too.
If the definition of leadership is someone who is able to get others to want to do something that they are convinced should be done, there is no question that Clem Buenger is a true leader.